So this is my Dynam Hawk Sky after many crashes, many failed attempts. Very hard crashes too, I have to say. Very tough crashes. Um, and you know what? It's held up pretty good. This entire piece was completely off. This guitar piece was completely off. Underneath here, it's cracked several times. Several times it's cracked. So, okay, yeah, so what I went ahead and did was I put some foam here, to hold down the battery, put some better magnets there and here, and, some foam. I know, everybody with the airflow and everything like that. I'll be honest with you, I don't have heat issues. I don't know who is having heat issues. Um, then again, I'll be honest, I haven't had mine up there for longer than 3 minutes. So, yeah, maybe I just haven't encountered those problems yet because I suck. So anyway, you can see I put some bamboo. I reinforced it again with bamboo. I put some really good tape here. This is heavy duty duct tape. Seems to work fine. I cut out some plastic here and put it behind here, so even though you have the tape, it still won't go any further into the styrofoam. I got these skewers here. These things worked awesome. I put them, I stabbed a bunch of them here and here and here all the way. I mean, these are solid. They are not coming out. I stabbed a bunch here as well. Also, I did the same on the reverse side. You can see here there was a huge crack right there, huge crack all the way around. And I just, I'll tell you what, the two that I use, Zap-A-Gap and the accelerator spray, you know what? I highly recommend them. They work great, bonds instantly, a little bit messy, a little hard to work with. You want to know something? My atomizer, this thing right here, my atomizer, it actually stopped working correctly. So what I went out and did was I got a bunch of these little paint brushes, and I just, I would just dip it in and, put some of this on one side, one piece, and then, spread this on with the other piece. And, it seems to have bonded very well. Now, this plane was already full of bamboo, a couple days ago. I put some foam down in there, and it has sustained some hefty crashes. And I mean, the fuselage is a little bowed out, I will admit. And I mean, the thing is filled with tape. I'm not going to lie. I completely covered everything. But this thing structurally is completely sound. Okay, I could not be happier with how this thing is and the way it takes a beating, because it truly does take a frickin' beating, man. I mean, from day one, before I even went flying, I did a lot of research on this plane, and I saw a lot of people and what they did, and I pretty much put the packing tape on. I covered the nose and everything well before I even made my first flight, my first ever flight. And this thing has just held up wonderfully. I couldn't be more happy with this. And honestly, the price tag isn't bad either. And you could buy the parts relatively inexpensive and have spares of everything. I mean, this right here is, my little, I guess you would say, survival kit for, RC planes. I've got everything in here from extra propellers, which are always important. I mean, I'm breaking them, losing them. As a novice, you got to have them. I mean, they give you two with the package, which I guess I understand, repeat business and everything, but I would say 4 for the beginner would probably be more realistic than 2, because I lost my 2 within the first 10 minutes of flying. All right, that's an exaggeration. It's probably within the first, couple hours of flying, they were gone. And I had to order more, and I had to sit and wait. An extra fuselage here. I'm sorry, not a fuselage. The motor housing. An extra motor. I mean, all this stuff was relatively inexpensive. And I keep it all on hand, just in case. An extra battery, glue sticks, You know, I even have extra propellers to other things. You know, I actually tried this on here. I know it was a foolhardy mistake because it didn't go anywhere. But I'll tell you, what it did do was it was enough power to let it go on the ground with the landing gear. So I kind of learned, you know, how to right, left, and whatnot with this. So that was kind of cool. But you know, I was so discouraged that I had lost, you know, my other ones, or broken the other ones. I tried anything, you know, and this came off of a Yellow Bee from Harbor Freight. That Yellow Bee, I never got it off the ground. I don't know, God, you know, hey, God bless anybody who did, but I never got that thing off the ground. I'll tell you what, I wish I had it here. I would put it in this video, but maybe I'll make another video about it. It took a beating, but all it did was nosedive. So, you know, and I have, you know, my chargers and everything here as well. And, you know, I also have the balance charger with all the cords and connections. And although I do know how to use this, I haven't used it yet because I'm waiting on the connections for the batteries. The batteries to these things come with such weird connections. I mean, to use this battery here, which I recommend this battery. This is a good battery. I have had no problems with this battery. I had to get this connection. I know I could solder and all that, but you know what? I'm not really into that. I would rather just connect it and go. So it is what it is. I mean, this thing, I got to repair this thing every day anyway. So, well, anyway, that's pretty much it. I still got to put the prop on. I'll tell you, that is one pain in the ass about this thing. Aside from putting in the motor wires, man, that was the most retarded design, I think, about this whole thing. The thing is great otherwise, but fishing those wires through was a nightmare. And if you could see, I had to actually keep them here because they kept, you know, ripping out and coming apart. It was a pain in the ass. But the second thing about this is, I know that these propellers are press fit, but God, they are the hardest damn things to put on. They never go on all the way. I've tried everything from heating up the end here and trying to slide it on, to tapping it on with a small hammer, and just a pain in the ass. You know, eventually they go on and whatnot, but again, just, you know, something I really didn't like. But that's pretty much it. Everything else in here is pretty solid. It doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. You know, I have it in there pretty well. The tape I used was pretty good. But, you know, if you have any suggestions or, you know, questions, comments, anything, feel free to give me a jingle here, all right? So, hope you enjoyed, and that's it. Take care.